Da-da-da. Hey, da-da-da-da-da-da. Ladies and gentlemen, KocoSports.com proudly presents Wrestle AM. It's half wrestling show, half morning show, pretty much all BS. And of course, you got the Coco crew here holding it down live. First, you got yours truly, the sexiest man on all Internet Wrestling Radio. That's right, Boom Boom here, shaking the room live from the RVA, Richmond, Virginia. And then way there across the pond, talking about over there in England. He is from the UK. We're talking about LK. And he's joining us live from the UK headquarters, with ProWrestling.me. And how you doing, buddy, man? How the hell are you?
I'm doing fucking splendid. NXT 6 days. I'm fucking pumped. NXT TakeOver London.
If you got the tickets in there with you, if you get like the tickets, you're like, yes, my precious. Got your, just holding, caressing those tickets because it's worth gold. I mean, I guarantee you, like right now, if you try to be like, I've got front row tickets to WWE TLC, and I've just got these regular tickets to NXT. I guarantee you're going to get more money for these tickets than you will for these. I'm just saying.
No, I'm sorry. For the Pick'em show, I'll show you the tickets, but they're upstairs, hidden away very nicely in the wardrobe, so no one can get hold of them. No one can.
He's got to lock up the safety deposit box in a bank.
Think about it.
It's going to take 3 guys with keys to get them out.
The PWME UK headquarters is going to be, if we're going to get attacked in there, this is where we're going to get robbed. This is where all the big money's at. I mean, this laptop is worth so many fucking millions of all the shows on here. The VIP content is ridiculous. So I got it locked up in the wardrobe. No one's going to nick my wardrobe. No one. If you do, you're pretty sad. But this is where, if I was going to rob my house and I came out and saw the fucking massive office and out here, I'll be like, fuck, there's going to be something expensive in there. They go, all they find is a signed AJ Styles picture and a bunch of shit. So if you're a robber, don't rob the UK PWE UK headquarters. Please don't. Please rob the house. Fine. Just don't touch the UK PWE headquarters. Please.
Just don't touch the HQ, man. We got a lot. Dude, I'm so broke right now. Somebody tried to rob me. They'd just be practicing at this point.
If only.
And speaking of practice, we had a good dry run here going into NXT TakeOver London. This was the final show from Full Sail University. I believe this was the final show from Full Sail University for 2015.
That's a tragic shame. I won't see the Full Sail fuckers for a while. That's a shame.
Well, I know you're not too choked up about it. However, I believe you're going to be part of the tapings because they're going to do what they did with Brooklyn, where they're going to do a bunch of tapings there at the event. I think they might started an hour early where you're at before they hit air. They're going to try to knock out some matches. Maybe they'll do some post show. I don't know, but so look for LK. He'll be the guy with no shirt on, holding up the sign. It says ProWrestling.me, 50 pence a month. VIP, baby. That'll be him.
Oh, it's got to have the VIP baby on at the end. That's the one line that you got right there, nailed it right on the head.
All right, so let's break this bad boy down here. First thing we see, we have Enzo Amore and Colin Cassady accompanied by Carmella. They go out to the ring, no microphones. Everybody, even Carmella, everybody dead serious. They go into the ring. I was actually kind of shocked because Amore, usually has like a shirt. No, he didn't have a shirt on. Colin Cassady looked, was jacked and ready to go. Out come the jobbers. I mean, other tag team. We're talking about Corey Hollis and John Skyler. This match was a squash match, which is what it should have been. Enzo Amore and Colin Cassady made short work of this tag team, worked them over pretty well, then hit that rocket, I think they call it the East River Crossing, the one where Big Cass just actually launches Enzo Amore into the air onto his opponent. They got the win. They grabbed the microphone, and I was kind of impressed with this. Now, I'm glad it was done. I think it could have been done better. If this was like Raw or SmackDown, I would probably be ripping these guys for this, but it's NXT and these guys are still learning. They're trying something new, so I'm going to kind of give them a pass. But Enzo Amore talked about how this is how we put food on the table, And if you stand between, don't stand, Dash and Dawson, you're standing between me and putting food on the table. I kind of didn't like the whole, because that was more of Kevin Owens' shtick. It's like, I'm a prize fighter. I fight for my family. Amore doesn't come off as a guy, I'm doing this for my wife and kids. Hell, I don't even know if he's fucking married. Because he's never brought anything like this up before. I think he could have went somewhere else, but again, this is developmental. This is what they're here for. This is exactly what they're here for. So that was fine. And I would rather him, try something and it kind of fail than to not try it at all. And then Big Cass, kind of shaking with rage. I think it kind of got a little comical, but I think when these two go back and watch this tape, they're going to learn a lot from this and springboard off of that. But I like the post-match because, for one, we saw a different side of Enzo and Cass. We didn't see him being goofy, trying to get, the catchphrases, get everybody talking with them. They didn't try to – they just went in there mad as hell and beat them up. So I got to see a different side of them. And plus, I got to see him be serious about something, like these guys, try to take out Big Cass. You jeopardize our future. You jeopardize my future. You hurt my brother. So we're going to go in there. We're going to hurt you. I absolutely loved it. I think it shows a little bit more, a new wrinkle with the Enzo, Amore, and Colin Cassady tag team. So overall, it was great. It shows more depth as a tag team, and it made them look like some serious contenders for the NXT Tag Team Championships. LK, what were your impressions of this opening match?
The whole point of this show is to get you excited for each individual match that will take place at London.
Imagine that.
Yeah, that's called a go-home show. And also on this week's Raw, because I didn't jump on this week's Raw because I was just at work. My work, for some reason, was scheduled overnights, and they need shot for that. So if you're listening to this and you've been writing my schedule, go fuck yourself. Secondly, I talked about how on my Raw review that on the VIP section for only 50 pence per month, exclusively, go to www.pressing.me and head over to LK VIP tab at the top of the page. I so need to get a guy to read that out for me. That would just be so funny. Anyway, back to the point I was trying to make is that no matches at all, no segments, not anything, was there any heel heat heading into the pay-per-view this Sunday. Not 1 inch of heel heat. Like that what's up with that? That's painful. Back to the point of NXT, this made me want to see Amore and Colin Cassady kick Dash and Dawson's ass at the pay-per-view. I am now willing to pay my ticket money. I'm willing to pay the network price to see Amore and Colin Cassady kick Dash and Dawson's ass. Judging by Raw, did you want to pay money to see Dean Ambrose beat Kevin Owens' ass because he threw popcorn and Coke at him? No. Do you want to see Roman Reigns beat Sheamus' ass? No, he's already done it twice. Like, there's no reason to buy the show, which is where they do what they do wrong, and that's Raw, main roster. They present you with shows. NXT, as I keep saying, week after week after week after week, promote. And this was another fine example. Proof in the pudding that NXT does a fucking great job at promoting their shows and promote the show they did. And I'm pumped, and I'm looking forward to Amore and Cassady versus Dash and Dawson. And I would talk about my predictions, but I think we're going to be doing a pay-per-view profit sometime later on this week or early next week.
I know we've kind of like throttled back on that a little bit, but this is actually, at least in my opinion, big enough event where actually it's something I'm actually excited about. It's something I actually care about. So therefore, I am interested in doing a pay-per-view profit. So that's why I'm, going to do what I'm doing here. By the way, you can tell us what you think about the show, what you think about TakeOver, who you picks are to win. The live chat is up and streaming, so feel free to use it anytime. Check us out. Let's see. Next, we did a brief backstage segment. It was Tom Phillips and his bad beard interviewing Dana Brooke and Emma. He kind of threw up like a lame question, asking Dana Brooke if she had calmed down since last week when they attempted to jump Asuka, and then Emma talked about hey, I'm the one who paved the way for everybody else that you like. I'm the one who did all that, and you know what, we're going to be in control. And then they did the little pat on the head for Tom Phillips. I didn't like the whole softball setup, but I think it worked. So getting there was kind of shaky, but overall they accomplished what they were going to, and they were kind of teasing kind of what they're going to do with Asuka a little bit later. And speaking of Asuka, She went out there one-on-one against Deonna Purazzo. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that correctly. Again, this was a squash match. I think the best part of that was you had Perezo get a little bit of offense in there, and then out come Emma and Dana Brooke try to pull in a distraction. Perezo, made a bad fucking mistake. She tried to spin around Asuka to clock her. Asuka turned around and caught her with a roundhouse kick to the head. The chick fucking dropped, just hit the canvas. Asuka's going to go over there, going to go finish her off. Referee gets in the way. They basically did a stoppage. Said knockout. She's out. She can't defend herself. Match is over. Asuka wins, and then Asuka just turns back and looks over at Emma and Dana Brooke, and they've kind of got this whole, oh shit, here we go. Fuck, what the hell have we gotten ourselves into? And I've got some theories about this that I'm going to love to talk about when we do pay-per-view profits, but I think it absolutely worked. I like the build that they've been giving Asuka in NXT so far.
I feel that they're building this match to a squash with the Emma match. I know we're not supposed to be talking about the TakeOver show, but just quickly, I feel that they really are. Instead of having Emma get the heel heat, it's 2-on-1. Emma and Dana Brooke, if they beat Asuka down, make it Asuka wants revenge on Emma instead of Asuka's gonna fuck up Emma. Because in the long run, you still need Emma to be an established star when Bayley moves up. So you're gonna need Emma, and if she's already got fucking battered by Asuka, that's not really gonna do anything much for her. Same as Dana Brooke. So in my opinion, they should have had it. Dana Brooke and Emma, torturing Asuka for weeks and weeks, and then at TakeOver, she just kicks their ass. That way, they still look credible instead of just Asuka going out there and just kicking the shit out of them at the TakeOver show. But maybe they're just
I'm trying to wonder what they're going to do with Asuka, because the next logical thing for NXT to do with Asuka is eventually have her challenge Bayley for the NXT Women's Championship. But I'm thinking maybe it's a little too early to do that right now. Where both Bayley, because Dave Coco, are the chairman, the CEO, the founder of KocoSports.com and ProWrestling.me. God rest his soul. I know he's not dead, but he's sick right now. So Godspeed, Dave. One thing he always talks about is as a booker, you always want to follow the money. Where's the money? Where's the money? And I think I maybe said this last week, but I think the money is Asuka versus Bayley for the NXT Women's Championship. And I think you could do that sometime around WrestleMania. So in that case, you don't want to have these two touch each other. But what could you do? And without going to a lot of detail, without how I want to, what I should be talking about when we do pay-per-view profits this week, I think there's several options. Yeah, you could go with a straight up squash. Just beat Emma, or you could have, and this is like if you want to schmoz it a little bit, have Dana Brooke interfere and basically turn it to a 2-on-1, and you could do a disqualification, or you could do the distraction, allowing Emma to get the win, and this leads to another match, another set of feuds, or this could lead to like a 2-on-1 handicap match. Try to stack the deck against Asuka. I mean, there's a million different things you could do, but bottom line is she's come onto the scene. The NXT crowd has welcomed her with open arms. She's doing a little phenomenal. By the way, can I just say that for the record, as a red-blooded heterosexual male, that little hip attack she does is fucking sexy. I'm just throwing that out there. Does anybody else besides me think that's sexy? Come on, she puts that little right there. It's better than the rear view. I mean, I'd totally take a bump with that move. All right, boom, boom. Here's what's going to happen. You could take the hip, but you're going to have to take a roundhouse kick to the face. Okay, can I get the hip thing first? Because I at least want to be conscious when I get her ass put close to my face. Can I get the roundhouse second? That's probably what I would say.
Wow.
Oh, I've left LK speechless. I love it.
I'm
All
verklempt.
right, gonna backtrack just a little bit. They've anyway going to they have announced a tag team match. So now we're going into the hype for it. It's going to be the Hype Bros versus Blake and Murphy. on the surface, I didn't hate this match. In fact, I liked the match. I just think they shouldn't have done this match on this show because neither one of these teams are going to be on the London card, at least not the actual event. Maybe they'll do some stuff for the tapings beforehand. Maybe you can give us a full report, okay, when you go there. I liked it, but I just think they could have done this either last week or they could wait another week and do it then, or do it because I just felt like if you're going to promote, now granted right now they've named 5 matches officially right now, and I'm thinking you needed to have, more of everybody who's going to be wrestling on that card definitely needs to make it on there, maybe, and spend more time with them as opposed to like, here's 4 guys and a lady who are not advertised for this. And I'm thinking, okay, maybe this is just, it wasn't a bad match. It was just not placed correctly. It wasn't scheduled correctly, excuse me. This should have been on a different episode of NXT. But with that out of the way, you had the Hype Bros, Zack Ryder and Mojo Rawley taking on Wesley Blake and Buddy Murphy with Alexa Bliss. Now, first of all, let me just say this about Blake and Murphy. I think they've done a phenomenal job this year. I mean, they were asked to step up, and they did. I know Dave hates them, but I think they were. I think they've come along quite nicely. They were asked to. They were put in a bad situation. They were asked to step up. They did. They helped out the tag team division for at least a good 6 months before they eventually dropped the belts. And I think they came out better from their tag team reign than what they were when they went into it. I want to address Wesley Blake.
Yes, please do.
Because Blake, okay, he does some crazy stuff. I know he did his hair up in pigtails, and I think it was just him being goofy, trying to get heat with the crowd. But this time the tag team was donning basically a Nightmare on Elm Street, kind of garb. Everybody was wearing like the Freddy Krueger, black, red and black, striped sweater. They had and he had like a cut off, like a tube top almost.
It did. It looked like a woman. It looked like he borrowed it from Alexa Bliss.
Yeah, it did. And of course they were also wearing red and green tights. I guess maybe because it's December. I really don't know. But I'm not trying to be an asshole. I'm genuinely asking, are they just trying to give like a hint? Is this just Wesley Blake just fucking around, trying to, it's like some inside jokes that I'm not aware of? He's just trying to get some heat by looking goofy, or is he gearing more towards a, I guess, transgender kind of character? I mean, is anybody? Am I out of line for even asking that? Because I'm just saying I've noticed some things here, and I don't know if it's just supposed to be in jest or this is actually supposed to be part of his character. I don't know what the hell's going on with it.
Yeah, I see what you mean. What I look at him, I think no straight man should be wearing what he wears. No straight man should do that. And I see what you mean there. But maybe, like you said, it could be him being goofy. I have no clue. I'm verklempt. I'm speechless here. I don't know what to say. Kind of an awkward spot to be put in. I don't know. I don't know, because Murphy, I think he's put on a lot of muscle. I noticed that on this week's NXT. He's put on a lot of muscle. So good for Murphy. Been obviously working hard at the gym at the Performance Center. But this Blake guy, I can't stand. There's something about him that pisses. Did you notice this? Something about him pisses you off. Like when he does promos, he pisses me off. When he wrestles, he pisses me off. During his entrance, he pisses me off. Do you find that, or is it me? I'm just a fan of Murphy and not Blake.
I mean, yeah, he just kind of irks me. Yeah. But I think that's a good thing though. If you're a heel and like. That's another thing. Is like when I went to an independent show, and this is back when I lived in Omaha. I went to an indie show, and this is the first show I've been to. I'd never been to this company before. I was going mainly because AJ Styles was headlining, and they had their champion come out. And as soon as this guy walked out, I told the guy I was with, I was like, dude, I want to punch this guy right in the fucking mouth. And I mean, I'd never seen this guy before. I didn't know who he was, but he walked out, the way he was carrying himself, the way he was acting. I just wanted to punch him right in the mouth. And that turns out the guy I was with actually knew him. And told him, he's like, and then he eventually got. Long story short, I eventually, went met up with him like after another show at the bar. It's like, oh yeah, Jake was telling me that you wanted to punch me in the mouth. I was like, yeah. I was like, oh good man, that's what I wanted. And I was like, Yes, like, yeah, I started thinking about it. I was like, well, that's probably what he wants me to do. So I'm thinking maybe that's the same thing with Wesley Blake. He's like, I want people to not like me. I'm a bad guy. I need people to boo me. And I can't be like this cool heel because people won't boo me. But if I go a little goofy here, people are going to think it looks ridiculous and think I'm like a fucking pogue. So I'm going to get them to boo me that way. Maybe that's what he's going with.
And if he does a good job, he does a good job with it.
But anyway, on to the match. They made light of the six-person rather that they were in a few weeks ago, where Buddy Murphy, by the way, took a Bayley to belly in that match. But I love the fact that Alexa Bliss made light of that and said that she was upset at her guys for losing that match. She's like, I hated you, Victory. Lost. What the hell? But the Blake and Murphy took the advantage on the onset. Eventually, the Hype Bros got the hot tag. They hit the, what is it called? What's their it's not the hyperdrive, the Hype Rider. Zack Ryder broke, got the tag, hit the Hype Rider, sealed the deal for the win. And I think it was a good match. Oh, and by the way, congratulations to Mojo Rawley. He's been making some appearances, granted in dark matches, but he's been up there with the main roster touring, so congratulations to him. But no, I really liked it. I really liked the match. I liked there was a missile drop kick into a jumping elbow. There was a lot of, false finishes, a lot of tag team, psychology, cutting off the ring. I like the blind tag. I love the cheap shots. It was actually a better match than what I anticipated. I kind of, and again, maybe this is a sign that it was a good match, is that I kind of wish it would have been longer. I really do. But overall, good presentation by both teams here.
I hate Mojo Rawley. I hate Zack Ryder. There is something about this team. The goofiness, their entrance, the way they wrestle, the way how Mojo is a big guy, should be in better shape. And I said this on the Raw, again on the review for the VIPs only, that if you want to look like a superstar, that's what they call them. They're not wrestlers, they're superstars. You have to look the part, you have to be the part. I'm sorry, but Bo Dallas is not a wrestler. He's a fucking idiot. I can't stand people who aren't in shape. When this is what I say. Okay, as a wrestler, you've gotten paid to do two things: A, to look the part; B, to be the part. So A, you got to wrestle; B, you got to look the part. To look the part, you got to go to the gym, and you got to eat right. You got to diet right. There's a difference. Me and you, we don't have to do that. Our job is to sit here talking on a mic. These guys are getting paid a lot of money to be in the best physical conditions of their lives, to be the best athletes they possibly can be. Bo Dallas, Kevin Owens. I love Kevin Owens more on the straight man should, as Dave Coker would say, but he's a sack of shit. And and it annoyed me with Mojo Rawley. Like, when he kept jumping up and down, I just kept seeing his belly wobble. I can't take that as a superstar. Like, imagine back in 98, 99, 2000, with all the big stars. Okay, you had Rock, great shape. Austin, great shape. Taker, great shape. Kane, great shape. They go on and on of just guys in great shape, all stars.
What about Mick Foley?
Yeah, but Mick Foley was a human bumping machine, and he didn't go out there with no shirt on, did he? When did you ever see him with no shirt?
Point taken.
He hidden his weaknesses. Mojo Rawley is a goofball. He's an idiot. He's a moron. This gimmick is irritating. Stay hyped. Fuck off. Why would you stay hyped 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, you moronic prune? Maybe I'm just a bitter Englishman at 4:08 in the morning, but at this moment of time, I cannot stand Zack Ryder. And maybe what this is I hate Zack Ryder so much that it's rubbing off on Mojo Rawley just because they're partnered together. But I mean, sorry, Dave Meltz here. Breaking news: Mojo Rawley will be appearing on the main roster at any given time. My reports from WrestlingObserver.com state that he was appearing on dark matches, so you can pay for this information for $60 a year to find out that breaking news: Mojo Rawley will be appearing in the main event of the TLC pay-per-view. Like, I hate that, man. Like, literally, the rumors that start on these internet sites. That's why I like being part of ProWrestling.me and KocoSports and LK. The rumors, we don't do rumors. Like, it's facts. Do you see what I mean? Like, if you look on there right now, it's fact. That we don't give any bullshit out. And the way how Dave Meltzer charges people to listen to bullshit that I could quite easily say, that you could quite easily say, anyone with a brain cell could say, and he charges you for it. I didn't understand that philosophy, and why I'm just in a hateful mood right now. Give me some love here, Booms. Give me something to talk about that make me positive. All this Zack Ryder and Mojo Rawley and Dirty Dave Meltzer. That needs to be a shirt, by the way. Dirty Dave Meltzer. That'll be fucking. The night is dark and full of spoilers.
Nice. Well, I mean, if you want to feel good, this is something that makes me feel good, and because next match, Boom Boom proudly presents your NXT Women's Champion Bayley. Versus Peyton and Royce in a non-title match. Let me just say this. Peyton and Royce got in a lot of offense, and there was some, I heard, I talked with some people about it online, and some people were like, oh, well, you know what, Peyton and Royce shouldn't have got that, much offense in, and she did. She's, in quote unquote, she has legs that goes on for days. I think I do see a bright future with her. I could see WWE utilizing those legs, her assets, and coming up with a very compelling character. So I want to see more out of her. But Bayley, obviously got the win. Put this whole match away in about roughly 4 minutes. But I think the reason why this needed to happen was because you've got a challenge. You've got Bayley versus Nia Jax. Coming up at London, and I think you need to show that the champ is vulnerable. That the champion, okay, she struggled a little bit to put away Peyton Royce, but she's going to take on a girl now that's going to be twice her size. That's going to, she's going to have another girl in her corner. It's like, oh my God, can the champion overcome this? And I think that was the point of the match, and I like that, but. Quickly, Bayley went down for a 2 count after a roundhouse kick by Peyton Royce, but after that was the last bit of offense. She came back with a running bulldog, then scooped her up and quickly hit Bayley to belly, got the win. The post-match, Nia Jax and Ava Marie walked out. Ava Marie had the microphone and said, and I mean, the whole crowd was just, as soon as she walked out, as soon as they saw Ava Marie, all eyes turned to fucking daggers on that woman. They fill that arena with fucking boos when it comes to Ava. And then I think she said, so I can't remember really what she said. Basically, it's like something, I can't believe you won 2 weeks ago. Then Nia Jax took the mic and said, I don't need you to talk for me. And he goes, the only reason you're the champion is because I wasn't here before this. And basically, say, I'm going to take the title from you at NXT TakeOver and win it, and then walk off. I liked it. I kind of like how they're handling Ava Marie now, because they know that Ava Marie's a fucking heat magnet. Well, hey, how do we get people to boo Nia Jax and solidify the fact that she's a heel? Oh, I don't know. Let's just have Ava Marie come out with her. Let's have her, try to pair up with her with a business partnership. Okay, well, let's, we want to fill the arena with boos. Hey, let's bring out Ava Marie. I think it's actually genius what they're doing with her. I mean, I know she's not that great in the ring, but this is okay. At least in my opinion here, LK, maybe you could tell me I'm way off base, but I think Ava Marie is a case of NXT getting lemons and trying to make lemonade. That's what I'm seeing with it.
Dude, if she really cared about, because obviously she's on Total Divas, she's always on these red carpet gimmicks. I don't know what they are in America, but obviously a pop up in a fancy dress. Why doesn't she just be a manager? She stinks in the ring. She knows she stinks in the ring. Like, why doesn't she just become a manager? Just imagine you could put her with anyone on the main roster. Even on the main roster, you could put her with anyone. Imagine putting her with Tyler Breeze. Imagine the heat that young man would get. It would be out of this. She could be the next Vicky Guerrero. Like, she stinks in the ring and she knows it. There's no way. Like, come on and think. She could.
Are you suggesting something like she kind of be like the role, kind of what Maria Kanellis is over in Ring of Honor with the Kingdom, where she gets a lot of the heat, and when she does get in the ring, it's kind of limited.
Yeah, and when she does get in the ring, it's a special occasion because you want to see someone kick her ass. Maybe have like her torture women backstage, keep torturing to the point where, yes, I want to see her get her fucking ass kicked. How am I going to watch that? Tell me how I can see Eva Marie get her ass kicked. It'll be on the WWE Network, which you have to buy for only $9.99 this Sunday at TLC. Okay, I'm buying it. there's just no heels. There's no heels, and there's barely any good baby faces in WWE anymore, and it's poor. And what pissed me off about this segment was that there should have been some physical altercation, in my opinion, between the two, or double teaming, because, like you said, Bayley needed to look vulnerable, and just a stare down, just for me, didn't do it. That booking 101 heading into a pay-per-view is about heat. You want the baby face to beat the shit out of the heel on the pay-per-view. That's the point of pay-per-views. You pay the money to feel happy about yourself. That's the point of it. And in the end of the day, they didn't do that as usual. And that's, I'm going to be honest, I didn't enjoy it. And the match with this Bayley and Peyton slutface Royce, I don't know her name, she's all of a sudden came out with this attire that I'm like, whoa.
Well, no, she's been wearing that. She had been. The only thing I think she did differently this time is, and this is how big of a fucking nerd I am because I'm actually watching and remembering this shit. She typically would come out with like a flower in her hair. But this time she just had it a long time and just did like this long dramatic, I'm going to smell the flower, and then goes down the ramp, goes up to the ring, gets on the ring apron, does a dramatic, smell it again, does this weird loop-de-loop thing to get into the ring, which was sexy, and you need to do it again, honey, but do it slower. Yeah.
That's what the pause button is for, Booms. And on the network, there's the pause, and then you can do the quick rewind bit. You get right on the money there, Booms. You could be a photographer with that gimmick going on.
Got the eye for it. It's like, Peyton, me and you need to talk. Now, could you slather yourself with baby oil before you go out to the ring?
I swear to God, though, before she wasn't wearing that little attire. I thought she wore trousers or something, or am I picturing that? Because there's two of them. There's Peyton Royce and there's another bird. Or am I?
Yeah. There's Billy Kay. That's might be who you're thinking of, and I think she also wears similar attire. I think she wears like a more like a purple attire, but that she's been very limited right now. I think they're still trying to find the spot right now. They're kind of got them introduced into the mix, but they're not really been pushed. And I think that's what they're trying to do, is trying to get them established. Okay, now we're going to try to, okay, here they are. Now they're your new divas that we're going to have here. I think that's what they're just where they're at right now. They're just kind of early phases. What's going on? And okay, real quick, Bayley, I gotta address a rumor, man. Ric Flair mentioned on the Woo Nation podcast that there were talks, like a couple of opponents for his daughter Charlotte at Mania. And, of course, Sasha Banks was one. And the other one was Bayley. And to me, this makes things a little bit more interesting because, what are they going to do? Are they going to keep the title on Bayley and then, kind of find a way to call her up? Or are they going to hot shot her, try to do what they do with the Divas Revolution with her?
Well, they could always just say, look, Charlotte come out after the Fastlane show and say, look, there is no one in the WWE who is better than me. I am the Divas champion. That makes me the best of the best. And she's still got that arrogant gimmick going on, hasn't she? You could come out of her, say I'm the best of the best.
That's a different story for a different day because I don't like that, the way they've been treating Charlotte and how they're treating her now. It's just I'm not necessarily opposed to her not being a heel. I just don't like how they're doing it. Because nothing fucking makes sense out there in WWE land now. And my gut reaction was, don't you dare mess with my girl. I'm the number 2 Bayley fan in the world because hey, we got to remember Izzy, but after her, I'm the number 2 Bayley fan in the world. And if I was there and they were back there creative and talking with it, I'd look and be like, hey man, take your damn hands off of her. Back to the Future reference, kids. It's fun. But no, I'm actually more in favor of a Charlotte Sasha Banks at Mania rather than calling up Bayley because I just don't want her to get destroyed because I know exactly what they'll do with her character, and I think plus I think NXT, the brand as a whole, needs her to hang around a little bit longer. I know my opinion is biased. I'm fully acknowledging that it is biased. But I think it would better serve NXT for her to hang around a little bit longer, get some of these other girls established, get people like Carmella and Alexa Bliss ready to go up to the next level. I know Asuka's ready. That goes without saying. But you also need to have Emma, Dana Brooke, have enough credibility built up where if they won the championship, you're not like, what the fuck? And you need to establish your new stars like Billy Kay, Peyton, Royce, and any other ladies that you're calling up. Liv, they debuted. It was actually Gianna, but they've changed her name to Liv. Is it Liv? No, not Liv Tyler. Liv. Anyway, the Jersey chick. You need to make sure they're they're ready to go. But that's where I stand on that. Okay, real quick, guys. We finally got some comments here coming in. So yes, the chat room is open, even though we can't have comments for some reason. The live chat is up and going. So please get your questions in. And Carlos Saldana has already got in. He says something that will make you feel happy. Okay, Star Wars Final Battle and Wrestle Kingdom 10 are all less than a month away. So there you go. That's a couple of things to look for. And by the way, I just saw the card for Wrestle Kingdom 10 today. Oh, dude, that card's fucking stacked.
It's gonna be a good show.
Oh shit, yeah. And he says, by the way, are y'all doing preview videos for those two pay-per-views? I want to do a pay-per-view profit for NXT because, well, I actually give a shit about it and care about it. So, but for TLC, maybe.
Carlos, go VIP, my friend. There'll be both of them there. Go VIP, my friend. There'll be both of them there.
Only 50 pence a month. And if you're wondering what that is, roughly that's 75 cents American. So for not even $1, there you go. All right. Then we get to the main event. This was a tag team match. This kind of reminded me something out of the Teddy Long era. You had a tag team match, partner. Holla, holla, holla. Worst Teddy Long impression ever. I apologize. Bad, boom, boom, bad. You had the NXT champion Finn Balor teaming up with Apollo Crews, taking on their respective opponents for TakeOver London. Samoa Joe teaming up with Baron Corbin. This match was short. And plus, it wasn't bad. I just think they should have done the mismatch. You should have had mainly Finn Balor focus on Baron Corbin and Apollo Crews focus on Samoa Joe, rather than the opposite way, because you don't want to have these guys get their hands on each other. You want to see them kind of clash up a little bit, but eventually tag out. And you have the opposite, because you want to see because you want your audience to pay money to see. The audience to pay to see Finn Balor and Samoa Joe finally go at it one-on-one. No interference. No, Joe can't tag out to anybody. No, Corbin can't come in and break up the pin. You want to see Apollo Crews take on, Corbin without, having to worry about getting counted out. This match went all over the place, but eventually it ended when Samoa Joe locked Finn Balor in the Coquina clutch. Balor sold this like a fucking champ. He did. He sold it. He started going. He started fading. He started spitting up a little bit. Oh, God, I'm going out. Referee has to call the match. Bad guys get the win. So overall, I think it was very simple, but I think it was good at what it did. You really put some doubt on Balor. Oh, God, he's been choked out twice now by Joe. Is the third time going to be the charm? Are we going to have a new champion? I've already spoken with another wrestling fan. It's like, oh yeah, I think they're going to put the belt on Joe. I think they're going to call up Balor, and they're going to go and just put the title on Joe. And I know maybe the conventional wisdom is maybe maybe Balor's going to retain, but remember Triple H is running this one, without any interference by old man McMahon, and there are times where Triple H uses the fans' knowledge of what's going on against him to get genuine surprise endings. So I don't know which way this thing's going to go, and it feels great.
One thing I love about the whole build-up for this is when Joe puts that Coquina clutch on, the whole crowd's going to think, yes, it's over. Baylor, don't tap. You're going to hear the don't tap because you're going to be emotionally invested, because the whole build-up of this match is based upon the Coquina clutch, the passing out of Finn Balor, which I think is going to be a great moment when Baylor does get out of it. He will get out of it. Even if the end match ends with the Coquina clutch. That for an Englishman, that is such a horrible word to say, the Coquina clutch. That's fucking horrible. Anyway, back to the point. He'll block it in once. Baylor will get out, and it'll be a big pop. Baylor will go for the coup de grace, then get it in again. And Joe will leave this show with the new NXT champion. Get some mainstream press. Hey, look, we did a championship change in London. They can go with that. And also, it's live, so live atmosphere. That, first of all, that's a shock to me. When they do the Jack the Ripper thing, which is outrageous, by the way, just the promo, that's outrageous. So get rid of that. That's not needed, not necessary. Get that out now. When they did it and they said special start time at 3 p.m., I'm like, you know what? This is the first ever live. Like, there's live, and then there's live that I'm going to watch when it comes to pro wrestling. So I've watched live, but I've never seen live. Like, Raw is taped in a 3-hour delay, SmackDown taped in like a 3-day delay. This will be my first live show, and I'm really looking forward to it. And as I enjoyed the match between Baylor, Cruz, Corbin, and who's the fucking Joe? I'm going speechless. I'm verklempt. As the word that is my word of the day. Speechless, that's what it means. And I think they did do what you said they didn't do. At the start of the match, I did notice that Corbin wanted Cruz. Sorry, Cruz wanted Corbin, but Corbin kept tagging out. I know during the heel heat, Corbin did get on Cruz, but if you noticed, apart from the ending where Baylor got Joe, and in the middle of the match with the heel heat, Corbin got a little bit of offense in on Cruz, they kind of left each other alone, which made you want more. And I think they did a heel heat, especially at the end. I was really happy there was heel heat with Joe, which really made me concerned. Because heading into this, I thought the only thing I don't want them to do is have Baylor and Cruz win and then do a stare down. That's the one thing I don't want them to do.
There is one thing that they did do backstage before the match that I think I didn't mention it now, but I need to, because it was done really well. Apollo Crews, finally looked over and said, you know what, it's about us going out there taking care of business, because, me and you, after all this, we've still got unfinished business. And then he picks up Balor's title belt, puts it on his shoulder, pats it. It's like, let's go. Some people are like, oh, well, maybe that's a sign that, Finn Balor's going to turn heel, and maybe he's going to turn heel. No, it's good storytelling. I mean, come on. I mean, Apollo Crews earned a title shot by winning a battle royal. He goes in and has a match. It gets interrupted by Baron Corbin. His, chance that he was, given, that he earned, was interrupted. He's not going to let that shit slide. And, plus Balor, why does Balor have to turn heel? I mean, he's the reigning defending champion. People are going to come out of the woodwork to challenge him for this title. He is the champion that comes with the territory. And I don't think I think it's just, out of the frying pan and into the fire. It's like, okay, if I get through Samoa Joe, now I'm going to have to wrestle Apollo Crews. Then somebody else is going to have to come after that. It's just the challengers keep lining up because he's the champion. Now, I mean, yeah, you could turn him heel. I think you could turn him heel and have him wrestle Hideo Itami as soon as he returns.
I'd have Hideo turn heel. I would personally, if I was booking that, I would have Hideo turn heel. And then have a heel Hideo versus Baylor. Because obviously the pop Hideo is going to get when he comes back is going to be huge. Which means if you take that huge pop, if you piss those full self fuckers off, I fucking hate you, then you're going to get instant heel heat from them. And I think that could be a good program with Hideo and Finn Balor. But I think they're going to save that for the summer. I honestly think they're going to save that for the summer.
Yeah, I mean, there's also been talks of them calling up, Finn Balor. But then again, that's everybody. It doesn't matter who it is. Oh, well, there's talks of calling them up. Yeah, I mean, it's developmental, and these guys are kicking ass. So, yeah, it's natural that they're talking about calling them up.
It's like Tim Sherwood has clocked into the Performance Center. Tim Sherwood has clocked into the Performance Center. Then there's Dave Meltz writing down, possible call-up Tim Sherwood. Possible call-up. I don't know where I got Tim Sherwood from. I think that's a football manager, but that's just the point of trying to put across, is that if you clock into the Performance Center, in theory, you could be called up to the main roster any time, and Dave Meltzer knows that, and he exploits it. And don't support Dave Meltzer. If you get anything from this show, A, buy the network and watch NXT TakeOver London. B, do not support Dave Meltzer in any way, shape, or form. Okay, boom.
And 3, get LK's VIP. Only 50 pence.
50 pence, bro. 50 pence.
That's the 3 things. I mean, come on, you got to push it. You got to brand it, baby. That's what you got to do. But finally, I know this is a question we usually ask at the beginning of every review we do, but I decided to hold it off to the end just because, well, fuck it, I want to mix it up a little bit. Win, loss, or tie, I'm going to give it a win. I think it was nothing. It was a go-home show, and usually go-home shows going into pay-per-views, or in this case a special event, are usually boring. It's just everybody's protected. There's really no decisive outcomes. It's just, okay, you're going to have to buy the pay-per-view. With this, I mean, there were no schmozzes. There were clear winners, clear losers. The winners look great. Even the losers look great. There was a lot of, doubt put on champions, particularly like Bayley and Finn Balor. And it's like, oh no, they had some close calls. Oh God, Balor lost. Were they still going to retain? There's some suspense there. So it was simple, but it was effective. So for that, I'm going to give it a win.
Yeah, I'm giving it a biased win because obviously I was looking forward to TakeOver no matter what they produced. And like you said, the point of a go-home show is to make casual viewers or the network subscribers watch the show next week, and they did a good job-ish at that. They did a better job than what Raw did with TLC. That's for sure. There's no popcorn in the face. There's no Coke in the face, like fucking dangerous.
No mention of tater tots.
Oh, dude, that promo was so hideous. It
actually, you know what that reminds me of? This is a true story. This is back during my first producing gig in Montgomery. I was working weekends, and things are a little bit more lax on the weekends. My weekend anchor and my weekend meteorologist had a game, and I shit you not, they had a game where they had a challenge word, where the anchor would come up with a word, and the meteorologist would have to find a way to work this word into his forecast somehow. One year, one time, it was the challenge word was yard bird. And for those of you who don't know what that is, that's a slang term for chickens, yard bird. And just with that, I think on this particular, I was like, well, the temperature is going to be going down. It's going to be down into the 30s. You're going to want to probably, bring in the pants or bring in your plants, maybe even the yard birds. And they just kept going. And it just became like, again. So I was thinking that's what happened on Monday Night Raw is, okay, what's the challenge word? Okay, let's pick a random word. Let's see if we can work it to a promo. Tater tots. Okay, let's see how many times we can work the word tater tots into a promo. And just, and I think they're just doing it to amuse themselves at this point, not the crowd, which is kind of sad.
It was also son. He said like son about 18,000 times. It was either son or tater tots. It's like, oh, dude. The thing is, though, I give him credit because it felt more like he was reacting instead of his normal scripted bullshit. But if I had a choice of hearing the word tater tot or son one more time, I think I'll take the scripted crap any day of the week. Just a testament to how bad the promo was on Raw. Oh, he made Sheamus look like a good promo cutter, like a really good promo cutter. That's how bad he was.
That's sad. But it could be worse. We could be Welsh. I don't know. I don't get that joke, but I love telling it because I get everybody across the pond to fucking laugh at that. It's great. So
right,
yes,
here it is. Okay, here's a bit of insiders. Okay, this is the real shit. This isn't the Dave Meltzer bullshit. Okay, Right. The reason why everyone rips on the Welsh is because over in England and Scotland and Ireland, the Welsh gimmick is that they shag sheep. Okay, that's their gimmick. They're sheep shaggers. Okay, their gimmick is they shag sheep. So if anyone calls you Welsh, you're like, fuck off. Don't call me that.
So this turned into bestiality. Okay. All right. Let's get to let's get a couple more questions here, and we'll wrap this show up, and then we'll have more stuff to talk about a little bit later this week. Again, all this coming from Carlos Saldana. Thank you very much for getting your questions and comments in, sir. Much appreciative. He says, you guys think NXT will play the Kenta injury angle as if Samoa Joe injured him? Joe did debut the same night. The same night, play that video of Kenta getting hurt. Oh, I know what I know what he's talking about, because he was talking about Kenta had to miss that triple threat match between, it was supposed to be him, Tyler Breeze, and Finn Balor, and the winner was going to be the new number one contender, and Kenta got hurt, so they did an angle where he was jumped in the parking lot, but they never did find out who did it, at least not yet. Yeah, I could see WWE doing WWE doing a couple of things with this. Either they could say it was Finn Balor who did it. Finn Balor saying, I knew I could beat Tyler Breeze, but I wasn't so sure that I could beat Hideo Itami, so I just took out the third wheel and went on, and I became the best NXT champion ever, however you want to say it. Or you could do that with Samoa Joe, is like, I just was trying to get him out of the way because I showed up here and I knew I was gonna be the champion. I just wanted to make a statement. I could see something like that. And then it says, out of the London card, I'm looking at the he means Asuka versus Emma. He's looking forward to the Asuka versus Emma match the most. Yeah, I don't blame you. I love me some Emma. Oh my God! Oh, by the way, check out her cooking channel on YouTube. It's called Tasted to Neil. Oh man, she's got some good recipes on there. So I say check it out. And by the way, I will say this: that girl has got some abs. Oh yeah, she got this tummy that's just like a cheerleader, man. Ozzy, Ozzy, Ozzy. Oi, oi, oi. That's all I'm going to say. Your thoughts, sir.
The questions. What was the first one? About Hideo. Yeah, I think what they could do with that is they should have Joe win at TakeOver London, and then in the rematch in January between Joe and Baylor, hopefully Hideo will be ready by then. You could have Joe then beat Baylor. You could have Hideo come out, just an intense stare down, look at Joe, and just point at Joe. Yo, obviously in that Japanese accent, point at Joe. Then they sprint to the ring, they brawl, security guards, this is awesome chants, look like absolute morons. And then you got in the WrestleMania weekend takeover show, you can have Hideo versus Joe for the title, and then you continue the Cruz.
Oh, dude, that could be the end of the show for London. I mean, Sami Zayn's supposed to be back, so you could either have Joe win, then immediately have a challenge from either Sami Zayn or Hideo Itami. Or, I mean, you could have just a number of different crazy things going on. I mean, the sky's the fucking limit right now. That's amazing.
Then you could have Baylor and Cruz in a number one contenders match for the NXT Championship at the show. You should have Zayn. I don't know what you could do with Zayn. Zayn will probably be on the main roster by then, fingers crossed. I hope they don't lollygag and pussyfuck around with bringing him up to the main roster. I think they should do another open challenge, maybe from Kevin Owens this time. And then have Zayn.
Yeah, I'm thinking what they're going to do with Zayn is they're going to keep him down there in NXT just a little bit longer. Not because of anything he's done or hasn't done. I think since he's coming off that injury, I think they're going to want to keep him down there for a little while now, kind of shake off the ring rust. I mean, he actually came back tonight, as a matter of fact. They're starting their tour of England right now. So tonight, as of this, recording, Sami Zayn, came back out, wrestled again for the first time since the U.S. Open Challenge, when he essentially tore his rotator cuff just flailing his arms around. I'm not making that up. He actually did that. So, yeah, there's a lot. There's just a ton of things you can do. I think that's the best sign ever. But anyway, I think that needs to do it for us here. Any parting words here? Anything else you want to plug, before we go?
I have nothing I want to know. You head over to ProWrestling.me, KocoSports.net. If you go to ProWrestling.me, on the top toolbar, you can find all the news. No rumors, just news, facts, statistics, TV ratings. I always make sure I got my TV ratings down to the point. Also, head over. You can add me as a friend on ProWrestling.me if you want to get emotional. Contact me about your emotional departures. I'm always a therapist. I do charge. Obviously, if you're a VIP member, I will help out with emotional needs. I can give you a video podcast dedicated to your needs of emotion. That's a lie. That's a complete lie. Just become a VIP. Again, if you're wondering, all this talk of the VIP, how do I become a VIP member? Well, precisely this. You go to ProWrestling.me. That's www.prowrestling.me. .me, not .com, .me. At the top of the page, there'll be loads of tabs. Click LK VIP, then become a VIP member for only 50 pence per month. It'll be the best decision you make this Christmas.
Absolutely. Speaking of ProWrestling.me, we got a lot of good news and updates on there. We've got an update on Lucha Underground Season 2 when they're going to debut. We've got some announcements from Global Force Wrestling. We've got some spoilers for upcoming WWE tapings. As LK mentioned, we've also got the latest on the rating situation. Some handsome, sexy motherfucker wrote some stuff up on the blog. I've actually got posted up on the blog here, which is open to everybody. It's a little article I did called Wrestling Cynicism, or Why We Still Watch, basically saying that, even though with ratings still dropping, there's still roughly 3 million people still watching Raw. And it's like, why are, a lot of these people still sticking around? And why do people like, myself, Dave and LK, wrestling ranting, why do we, even though we openly say we hate a lot of the product, especially the product WWE's putting out, why do we continue? Where's the passion? Why do we still have this love? I kind of go into why I think that is. Zachary Watts, he's got an update on AJ Styles' back injury. We've got some picks for the TNA's, their upcoming brawl from their title tournament coming up. We got a lot of good, cool things up there at ProWrestling.me. And of course, as LK mentioned, you got the VIP section. And by the way, he is running a special. It's only for the month of December. If you're a buxom young woman, if you will send him a picture of you flashing the girls, he will give you the first month free. Then after that, again, it's back to 50 pence, but you can get the first month free. Just, lift up the shirt, set those puppies free, snap a picture, send it to him. He will give you the thumbs up of approval. Now, it does not count if you're a dude. If you show him your boobs, your man boobs,
Price is doubled.
Price doubles. No, actually, it triples. It triples because you actually have to pay for his fucking therapy. So that's going to triple. So only if you're a buxom young woman. Now, if you're old enough to be like his mom, hell, he'll still take it. If you're underage, hell no. Dude, God, no. And in fact, if you're under 18 and you do that, we're going to tell you, daddy. That's what we're going to do.
Can you imagine that? It'll be the police knocking on my door. Hello, is this the Perezo.me UK headquarters? Yes, sir. Why is there a 14-year-old sending you pictures of her tits? Well, Boom's offered a special where I give you the VIP membership for free if you send me the pictures of your tits. Oh, okay, no problem. Let's have a look. There, the police are dirty. The police are dirty. They'll be all over that like a rash.
All right, we've dawdled on long enough. So this is going to do it for us. So be sure to check us out, KocoSports.com, KocoSports.net takes you to the same place. It's your home for combat sports, and it's where it's okay to be a passionate fan. And check us out at ProWrestling.me. It's the Facebook for pro wrestling fans. We're trying to build it up. We're doing a soft launch. We're recruiting founding members. We're trying to build this up before we have like a massive launch coming up in 2016. So be sure to sign up. It's absolutely positively 100% free. We're going to have a pay-per-view profits show coming up a little bit later this week. So this is Booms. This is for my partner LK and for Dave Coco. I am over.